Okay, my friend, today on the podcast, I have the one and only Gary Vaynerchuk is in the house. Oh my God. First of all, I cannot believe that I interviewed Gary Vaynerchuk, that he said yes, because he is a very busy man. It was very short. This is a short interview. However, I will say that the shit that he shared, he hadn't shared before. It's punchy. It's legit. It's amazing. Incredible. Talks a lot about confidence and about insecurity and about how he became so empathetic and compassionate and how he sees confidence. Oh my goodness. If you don't know who GaryVee is, what are you doing? You're living under a rock, my friend, because this man, CEO of VaynerMedia, he started the wine library back in the day. He's got such an incredible work ethic and humility about him. Huge. I love him to death. I've been following him since 2016, 2017, and I literally started my podcast because of Gary. I launched my coaching business because of Gary, listening to him on YouTube while I was breastfeeding my little baby who is now 6 years old, and my toddler was running around. If you want to see any of this footage, you can go to my YouTube, the Queen of Confidence YouTube. I'll link it below, and you can see my videos of me watching GaryVee on repeat, trying to get some inspiration while trying to manage 2 kids on my own because Hamish was working. And he just gave me the fucking loving bitch slap. He gave me the real talk of like, stop messing around, stop waiting, stop playing, go out there, create it for yourself, start the podcast, start the YouTube. And so that encouraging message led me to read his audiobook, Crushing It. So I listened to Crushing It and I just said to my husband, yo, I'm going ham. I'm not going back to work. I'm starting my business. I'm going to do this. And literally within 11 months, I made $160K in the business. And it is directly correlated to Gary Vaynerchuk. If it wasn't for him and his message and the way that he speaks and the strong way that he shares, I would have never done it. So without further ado, I cannot believe I'm about to introduce GaryVee to the podcast. Oh, hello, Gary.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much. So much for being here. This podcast exists because of you, and it's all about teaching people how to stand in their confidence. So I'd like to ask you, confidence to me, I love the definition. It's a Latin definition. It stands for self-trust. So how have you been able to create such an amazing trust in yourself and belief and confidence? And how did your upbringing and your family and your mom and your beautiful community as a child help you do that?
That's a great question. First of all, thank you for having me on the podcast.
I love you. You're the best.
I think about this a lot because I think I really do see the world through the lens of confidence versus insecurity. And I believe most of the pain and the hurt and the anger and the darkness in our society is completely based on insecurity. I think about it a lot. I define it in a couple quick ways. I think first and foremost, I do believe there's a heavy part of the DNA that you're born with that is a variable. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that if somebody's born, if they're both confident, not confident, one is, one isn't, that they can't be a different version of themselves. But I do believe DNA is a factor. I think parenting is a major factor.
Yes.
Now, this is where in modern times, especially the last 20 years, we've lost our way. I think a lot of modern parents believe telling their kids they're great at everything leads to confidence. And I think we've overcorrected. We came from the era of where your parents didn't tell you they loved you, right? Like the 60s, that people talk about that. And now we're in an era where people tell you can do anything and the kid knows they can't. And we've got to find the middle.
Yeah.
My mom was incredibly influential. I speak about that a lot.
Yeah.
And what she did well was she found the middle. In a world of black and white, she found the gray. In a world of blue and red in politics, she found the purple. She made me feel good. But what she didn't do was manipulate merit. When I struck out in a baseball game and tried to say that it was the sun was in my eye as an excuse, she wouldn't support that. She always knew that I would make it, but she still punished me for bad grades.
Yeah.
So she didn't say you're going to make it and taught me that there wasn't ramifications for mailing it in. So in her grounding of me, she was teaching me that things have consequences, but they don't define you. She was finding the middle.
Beautiful.
The way I think about confidence has a lot to do with risk and executing on risk. This is why I'm very upset about 8th place trophies. I believe that if we tell everybody that games don't matter, then we're confusing them. That's not how nature works. I think I have a lot of confidence because I failed a lot.
Yes.
I got comfortable with failing. I think a lot of people struggle with confidence because they got straight A's.
Yeah. Yeah.
They always were attractive. They didn't have as much adversity in their youth. And they don't realize, this is actually very powerful. I don't think I've ever articulated this. I don't think people realize that are good at everything in their youth, that they actually were using their fear to stay away from things that they weren't going to be naturally good at.
Bam. Yes. Oh my God.
I see a lot of kids avoiding competition because they don't want to lose. So they get to say they're good at everything, but they're actually just good at a couple of things. They don't try everything. They don't try most things. I think when I think about confidence, I think it becomes very grounded in a relationship of losing. I've never heard that. Give me the Latin term. What's the definition for confidence?
It's fidere, and it's like confianza. Like in Spanish, confianza is trust.
Yes.
Trusting yourself. And so I share that because then I'm like, you don't have to say I'm not confident or I am. I'm like, do you trust yourself?
Do you know why I trust myself blindly? Predominantly because I know how I act when I lose.
That's so good. I love
You
you.
understand?
Hell yeah.
I don't trust myself based on when I win. That's easy. I believe that there is an incredible correlation to one's relationship with losing and their confidence.
Do you feel like that your mom and your upbringing helped you with the humility? Because I will say, when I met you in Melbourne, and every time I've seen you, like, wow, fuck, you're just humble. You've stayed the same person. You're kind, you're caring, you're loving. You take photos with people. Like, you're just so kind and humble. And I feel like it's a trait that not a lot of people have, and you fucking have it. Do you feel like that supported you as well with the humility side of things?
You know, I appreciate you saying that. And I think humility comes from the losing. I don't think I'm special because I've tasted losing so much.
Mm-mm.
And this goes back to what I think is the ingredients of confidence. Trusting yourself is knowing you're good during bad times. I feel like I always say I'm a wartime general. Like, I'm at my best when it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck. That's so good.